Greetings, viewers. This is King Echu from Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. Welcome to my platform. This is a Pan African platform. Please like, share, and subscribe. The discussion of today is the most significant, the most important discussion of geopolitical issues around the world. And this has to do with China, Taiwan, and Western superpower. The geopolitical issue between China and Taiwan could lead to a third world war if the superpowers, if the leaders of the free world do not handle this issue accordingly. It could lead to a war that would destroy the economy of the world and in the process affect the entire world. But the fact that China is not backing down from reclaiming Taiwan, the rogue state as they call it, of China, this action could actually lead to the demise of China or to the rise of superpower of China. China could rise and become the most dominant nation in Asia, which will be a problem to the countries in Asia because right now most of the countries in Asia are not having it easy with China. And if China succeeds in reclaiming the rogue state of Taiwan, then the might of China will be the greatest in Asia and the greatest in the world. And this is an issue that the Western power finds so very offensive and will do everything possible to make sure that the rise of superpower in China will not outshine or outweighs the Western powers. The Western powers don't want to be second class to China. But then again, to the nations like Philippines, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, and Japan want to be puppets to China because when China becomes the most dominant nation in Asia, the other countries will feel the influence of China. So this is the best time, the best moment for countries like Philippines, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, and Japan to curb the superpower of China, to make sure that China's influence does not become the most dominant in Asia. And this can be done if those nations make sure that Taiwan become an independent country from mainland China. When China succeeds to reclaim the renegade state of Taiwan to be part of the One China policy, China will be the boss, the superpower of Asia. And this would not be good. Look at what is happening in Hong Kong. Look at how the citizens of Hong Kong are being treated because they don't want to be part of the One China policy. They are protesting and they are being arrested. They are protesting and they are being maltreated. They are protesting and they are being treated as if they are not citizens of the world. But citizen of Hong Kong has to think of a different strategy of how to fight against China. The strategy they're using is not working. So the next strategy that they need to focus on is how to help Taiwan push or to make sure that China does not reclaim the renegade state known as Taiwan into the one China policy. So if the activists of Hong Kong really want to make a difference, they could use their skills, their talent towards Taiwan in defeating China. Of course, Taiwan by itself cannot defeat China. Look at the size of China. But with the backing of Western powers and countries like Philippines, Indonesia, the rest of the other Asian countries supporting Taiwan against China. Because when China reclaims Taiwan, Philippines, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam will be affected. There will be a serious change around Asia. But if they want to have an influence in Asia, if they don't want to be dominated by China, because China will dominate them, China is already dominating the world as it is. If China succeed in reclaiming Taiwan, then other nations around Asia, close to the South China Sea, will be seriously affected. Now, China, because China has not been able to learn how to utilize the land, air, and sea simultaneously, they're using the gray zone warfare to fight Taiwan and try to reclaim China. This warfare is an irregular type of conflict where um, a nation could use to fight other nations without actually having a full blown war. Because China it hasn't been able to adapt to land, air, and sea, they're using the gray zone warfare to fight against Taiwan. And as a matter of fact, countries like India and Australia have understood the strategy that China is using. They are also using the same strategy against China because they don't want to give China the upper hand to continue to do what they are doing to reclaim Taiwan. So they are also using the gray zone warfare. If China decides to increase their tactic in fighting against Taiwan, I guess India and Australia will also increase their tactic. But as of now, the war strategy they're using in this fight, because it's not the war hasn't been blown up to a full blown war, so they're using it. China is using the gray zone warfare to fight in order to reclaim the renegade state known as Taiwan. The Western powers will not allow China to completely integrate Taiwan into China or the one China policy. But if China successfully learn how to use land, air, and sea simultaneously, they will definitely use war to reclaim Taiwan. And that would not be good for the entire Asia. Asia countries need to be involved in this fight because if they're not involved in this fight, they'll be sitting duck when China becomes the most lethal, the most superpower of the world in Asia and around the entire world, which means that they will have to dictate to the world how things are, how things should be carried out. So it's for the interest of other nations in South China Sea to be involved in this battle, because some countries like Philippines, Japan, Vietnam already had some historical battles with China when it has to do with the South China Sea, because China wants to reclaim the entire sea area so that it could do business with ease and make more money, because it's all about making money. China is the most dominant country in Asia as it is right now. And if they control Taiwan, other countries will be demolished, will be crushed. So, as I said, other countries in South China Sea must be involved against the fight with Taiwan and China. And they must not take the side of China, because if they do, then, and if China wins, then they will have to be, you know, they'll have to accept the rules and regulation from China, because now China will become the most dominant nation in Asia. But only time will tell how this plays out. Only time will tell if China will succeed in reclaiming Taiwan. Only time will tell if Hong Kong will successfully free herself from China and become an independent nation. Only time will tell. How will the West handle this? Well, the G7 foreign ministers have come together and putting pressure against China. And this will not stop until China stops trying to proclaim and reclaim Taiwan. Africans will say, but how is this going to affect us? It's already affecting us in how we do business with China. See what is happening in Africa. Country like Zambia is already a colony of China. And if China succeeds in reclaiming Taiwan, then they have control over Taiwan and Hong Kong. And their sphere of economic background will be so huge and tremendous, to the point where how business is being done in Asia will be answerable only to China. If the other nations in China don't want that to happen, then they must make sure that Taiwan is a free and independent country from China. And Hong Kong also needs to be an independent nation from China. China is trying to swallow everybody, or swallow China. China's trying it pretty much swallow everybody. Everybody buys from China already. China is this economic superpower of the world, and they want to be the military power as well, and which means they will dictate how geopolitics is run in the world. That is what's going to happen when China successfully take control over Taiwan, as they have already taken control over Hong Kong, and They will set the standards, especially if they successfully learn how to use land, air, and sea simultaneously. They can use it, but they haven't mastered how to use it together. But when they do that, Taiwan will be taken militarily. So, Africa, the world, you need to watch what is happening in China and Taiwan and see how the outcome will be. Will China successfully take over Taiwan, or will Taiwan become an independent nation from China? And what would that be? What would that say to Hong Kong if Taiwan successfully become an independent nation? Would that also mean that Hong Kong will possibly have an opportunity to become an independent nation, or would they still continue to be tied with China? So it's up to the activists of Hong Kong to use their energy towards Taiwan in helping defeating China. Because when China reclaims Taiwan, then they will focus on the South China Sea, and countries like Philippines, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore will be affected, and that includes as well Japan will be affected. So Western powers need to encourage other Asian nations around the South China Sea and other nations as well to focus their energy towards China. Because if they allow China to reclaim Taiwan, those nations in the South China Sea will be affected. And when a nation is already the most dominant nation, when it becomes the most dominant nation, the most powerful nation, the most superpower, they would not ask for their opinions with other nations. They will just dictate to those nations. It's countries in Asia need to look at what China is doing with Taiwan, or in the long run, they will be affected, whether they like it or not. The fact that Hong Kong is already integrated with China is a problem. Other nations in Asia must see that must be dissolved. This one China policy is bullshit. You can clearly tell that the people from Hong Kong are different from the people of mainland China. And you could tell clearly that the people of Taiwan are completely different from the people with mainland China. Yes, they're all Asians, but you can clearly tell that there's a difference. So why is it that China has to force Hong Kong and Taiwan to be one mainland China? It all has to do with economic growth. China wants to be the most dominant nation in the world, which is why they're doing that. And if the world doesn't stop China and they think that the United States is the problem, in years to come, your opinion will change completely. But if you like what I'm saying, subscribe, like, share your opinions. This is King Angel. Till next time.